Welcome to the ANEW Body Insight podcast, empowering and inspiring your journey to optimal health. Hosted by Dr. Supatra Tovar, clinical psychologist, registered dietitian, fitness expert, and author of Deprogrammed Diet Culture. Rethink your relationship with food, heal your mind, and live a diet-free life. And Chantal Donnelly, physical therapist and author of Settled, How to Find Calm in a Stress-Inducing World. Here at City Club Los Angeles, we follow our guests' journey to optimal health, providing you with the keys to unlock your own wellness path. Tune in and evolve with us. Welcome back to the ANEW Body Insight podcast. We are back for the second half of our episode with legendary talent and humanitarian Kiki Ebsen at City Club Los Angeles. Welcome back, Kiki.
Thank you.
Yay. Kiki gave us some amazing background about her life in music and about her background with her father, Buddy Ebsen's influence. We cannot wait to learn more.
Good to have you back. We are going to take a little bit of a side shift here and start talking about your charity foundation. So you are the founder of the Healing Equine Ranch. Can you share with us how that got started, what it is, and what led you to create this charity?
Well, surely. I'd be happy to. So I am a lifelong equestrian. I grew up where I'm lucky to live on the family ranch. We live there, my husband Steve, and I've had horses my whole life, and it's been my obsession. Mm-hmm. My sisters had horses, so I couldn't. When I got my pony when I was 5 years old, it was the best day of my life. I remember the day they said you're getting a pony.
That's a girl's dream.
Oh my gosh.
5-year-old, you get a pony.
And
that's
I did
a dream.
I jumped on top of the bed on the mattress and just like screamed. I just couldn't believe it. So loved it. And I've had horses, and I showed horses as a child and as a youth. And as I got into high school, you know, life took over in my career, and I got into music, and I left the horse world for a while. And then somewhere in my early 30s, I wanted to get back into the horses. My sisters still had horses, so I was still able to ride, but I wanted my own horse. So I looked into the possibility of rescuing a horse. And I had just become familiar with the term natural horsemanship, which is kind of a way of working with horses in their language, in a language they understand. So up to then, all I knew was you break a horse, and you break them to ride, and then you control them, and you pull them to stop and kick them to go. That's sort of, a lot of people just think that that's what being with horses is about, is that they're stupid and you basically have to control them. So, and that's a generalization, but there is a huge movement over to this place of where we actually start to talk to them using this sort of pressure release language of when they do the thing that is desirable, you take the pressure off, and that's a whole nother podcast. But I mean, it's just it's really a very, very wonderful communicative way where they get a say, you get a say, and you partner as opposed to control. So we're looking at partnership. So I had just gotten into that, and I found an opportunity to rescue a horse, a baby, just a 4-month-old filly, from an industry called the Premarin industry. I don't know if you've ever heard of Premarin. Mm-mm. Prempro. Yeah. It's an estrogen replacement drug. Mm-hmm. So pregnant, they make it out of pregnant mare urine, and it's an estrogen-rich byproduct of the urine of these pregnant mares.
Wow.
I know. So it's kind of like, wow.
Okay,
we're going there.
That behind my ears.
Anyway, the mare has to have the foal is a byproduct of the drug industry. So then those horses were sent, if they weren't adopted out, they were sent to slaughter. No. These little babies. So the website, and the good thing is that production of that drug is on the decline with bioidentical hormones. But there were 60,000 babies a year being turned over to get these, to make this drug. Right. And it's such a waste, So my sister and I, we looked at the website when this was 24 years ago and saw this little baby, and I went, let's just get her. What? Come on, so he's had her shipped out and they're basically free. They're looking for homes, right? They come out on these consolidated shipments, and this 4-month-old baby horse showed up and we named her Rose, and she was the flagship of our whole program. Well, what it was supposed to be is me adopting these horses, rehabbing them, and then placing them. That didn't work so well.
You couldn't let them go.
No. So the next year I got another Premarin foal, and then the next year I got another, and another, and another, and I had the hardest time placing them because they started to illuminate these parts of me. And I've developed these relationships with them, and they're like family. You know, we don't have children, so I'm like, oh, I couldn't. Oh. So I was able to place a couple, but after 6 or 7, I also got the opportunity to start working alongside psychologists in a new sort of therapy. It was equine-assisted therapy. It was very new to me and kind of new in our area. And I had the ranch, I had the horses, and I had the therapist with the contacts, and we started working with treatment centers in the Malibu area. And it was so invigorating. It's so interesting to watch these people come in on their 30-day programs and just spend one day with the horses, and it completely changed their perspective. And at that time there was a lot of metaphor work, like that horse reminds me of my younger daughter, and that's my ex-wife, and which is valid from a processing standpoint because it brings up topics. But now as it morphs more into this sort of building relationship with the horse is not just a tool anymore, but they're an energetic, sentient being that can make requests as well as receive requests. So now we're starting to get into the area in this new sort of modality that I'm working with, is trauma-informed equine-assisted services. And we're working with Bruce Perry's model of, ground-up regulation, working with neuroplasticity, creating new neural pathways, of building relationships with the horse, again using pressure and release, but this time giving the horse a choice and starting to examine what you bring to the table. Like if you come with a whole bunch of this, that horse is not, as a prey animal, a horse moves away from pressure. Yeah. And horses, they're prey animals, they move away from pressure. Yeah. That's their defense. Yeah. And so you start to examine how you come into it with your energy, and your breath has a lot to do with it. How you hold your breath, the tension. Now we're into somatic work with our body.
I mean, you have to connect with your body.
Absolutely. Yeah. So there's tons of connecting with the body. We get into polyvagal theory all the time.
I write about it.
So it's really fascinating because the horses are in that. They're in the hyperarousal, and then they have their. I love the disassociation part now because I love that new area, because we used to call it. We had different names for it in natural horsemanship. The horse would be just like, oh my God, or the horse would be completely checked out with not blinking at all.
I did not know that horses dissociate.
Oh my God, all the time.
Wow.
So I have one in particular that disassociated so much and this is the kind of horse that'd be like, oh, he looks so calm, I'm just going to get on his back. Then he explodes and he bucks the person off.
Because they can't tell the difference between the stillness of the disassociation.
Exactly. They don't know the signs, and the signs are very similar to humans. Blank stare.
Yeah.
Frozen.
The head goes a little high. The breathing gets shallow.
Hypervigilant.
And they're totally disassociated.
Wow.
So you do a lot with your breath, a lot with proximity, and then you watch them come back. And a lot with repetitive patterns, rhythmic patterns, to help regulate the horse and bring them back. That's part of that when we're talking about the ground-up regulation. So you've got the brainstem, then you have the movement, the limbic, or the dicephalon, and then the connection, right? The emotional connection part, and then the neocortex. So a lot of the people coming in are in this sort of thinking survival mode.
Yes.
So most
of us are.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So there's so much you can do with horses with the rhythmic patterns of walking with them, matching their steps, regulating your breath, watching their breath, matching, or just noticing. A lot of it's just notice where you are. Notice what the horse is doing.
And this is going to help someone co-regulate with another human being.
Totally.
Because it's so informative.
It's so informative. And it's embodied experiential learning.
It's what we need.
It is what we need. And so it's really emerging. And as people get to understand it, and there is the therapeutic part. So I'm not a licensed therapist, so what I do is equine-assisted learning. But I get referred a lot by therapists because I'll work with that person on regulation skills. And with the yoga part You know, it brings us, it's pretty much just brings the philosophy and the breathing and also a perspective of how we are on what this is all about.
Yes, go into that some more. You have this, natural equine interactive growth and healing method.
Right, and it's just it's an acronym for NEY.
Nay. I love that.
I had to figure out what would fit
I
into
love
that
it.
acronym.
So clever.
You combine this with yoga meditation, trauma-informed equine assisted services. Just real quick fun fact is that I was the president of the pet therapy club in my doctoral program, and I wish I had known you then, because this would have been something amazing for us to learn about. But I'm such a huge advocate of how animals, can help us heal in so many ways because they're such sentient creatures. Tell us how all that combined will help, and who primarily comes to the ranch.
Well, it's a great question because so many different people come to the ranch. I mean, I work a lot with therapists. One of my students is a therapist and a somatic experiencing practitioner. I work with teachers, people who are just want to come and learn about horses or horsemanship, but they also want to learn about themselves. And I've been working a bit with the treatment centers, which I really love.
You mean addiction treatments?
Addiction, yeah. And some mental health. I have some, that are referred that are dealing with anxiety and depression and OCD and things like that. And again, I really bring them into the present. I don't really do it. The horses do. So I feel like I'm basically a container. I'm a safe container that I can direct them towards the horse. And one of the things we'll do is we'll learn how to build a healthy relationship through a request for connection.
Yeah.
I'm requesting by this action that you connect with me, and in a way, and the horse has a choice. They can either come or not. And it's so powerful when the person lets down that guard or whatever it is that's keeping the horse from coming to them. And we do a lot of this without a halter and a lead rope in an open space. So they're not coerced in any way to come.
Wow.
And some horses won't come. And then you're like, well, what does that feel like? Well, how, what's it like? And then they can take that piece maybe back and process with a therapist. But there's so much to talk about in terms of just like the stories people tell themselves and how hard they are on themselves. And again, just being in nature with a horse that's not judging you is really powerful. I had a guy in treatment who had a powerful experience. It was his first day, and I just asked him. He goes, "I don't know what to do." We're standing with this really wonderful horse named Moo Moo, and she's a troubled horse too. She came to us with a lot of she'd not been treated really fairly, and he goes, "I don't know what to do," and he was so hurt, and I said, "Well, just what do you feel?" And he goes, "I'm 2 days into treatment. I don't feel a thing."
Wow.
And I was like, I felt so much empathy for this guy, so I stepped away. Because I felt like it was a very intimate thing happening with him and the horse came right up to his heart and just placed her head right there. And I was like, I started crying.
That is incredible.
And he actually stayed an extra day just to come back to the next group, just to tell me how powerful that was. And again, I didn't do anything. But I knew what to look for, and I knew when to step away, which I think is so much a part of being able to help as a facilitator, is when to shut up. Leading, directing questions, and then when to just take an exhale and back up and let that magic happen.
And it sounds like you've learned that from the horses.
I learned it from the horses. They taught me. They're good.
How long do they stay in a session? Is it just one time?
Most of the treatment, most of the groups we're just part of their 30-day, but I do get referred, and I've seen people over time, which has been really nice to be able to see them on a weekly basis. I'm really happy when I can do that. But if they only have one time, then let it be meaningful and let them experience something. It doesn't always have to be good, but it'll be something that they'll take away that they'll remember. And nature and animals are quite honest. It isn't all great. I mean, I've had some pretty amazingly difficult things happen during sessions, and I've had to face my own, realities about. And I have my own stuff, and we're all on a journey. And I couldn't do this if I didn't do my own therapy.
Absolutely.
So true.
I'm coming out to the ranch sometime soon. You
I
know I will.
am jumping up and down.
Yes.
You can't see it right now, but inside I'm jumping up and down. I love this idea, and I love that it's a 503c1.
Yeah,
C4?
501.
What do you call it?
501c3.
50. My dyslexia just totally kicked in. It's a charity, folks.
It's a charity because I have so many. I mean, to do this work, it's expensive. And not everybody can survive, with and I has a ranch, and I've got 10 horses I can use, and this charity allows for donations to help with the feeding and the caring for them, because it really is a labor of love.
Do people have to pay to go have the therapy, or is that totally?
They pay the treatment centers definitely. There are offerings, for people to come and pay. That really does help. Occasionally, though, I do. I offer the services free of charge, depending on the situation. I've done that a few times over the last year.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Wow.
Well, I want to stay on this topic, but we're actually going to move on to talking about your latest album.
Oh, fill me up.
Yeah, Fill Me Up. And you actually donate proceeds to the Healing Equine Ranch for that. How do you find the balance between your work in music and your dedication to the equine therapy? How do you do all of it? And do those two worlds sometimes overlap?
Well, they do overlap. It's hard. I am definitely spread very thin across my passions. Like I want to be doing music, and then I want to be doing horses. Sometimes I just sing to the horses.
There you go.
I do. When I'm practicing for something, they're used to hearing me sing all the time. And then sometimes we'll do something musical around the horses, But I mean, really, I can look out of my studio and see them. And sometimes the overlap is I just let them all loose, and they come around the house, and I'll be playing piano, and I'll just be looking out and I'll watch them graze, But it involves being very disciplined about your time, and you work really hard. And my husband says I work too hard, but I'm down there early, and riding and being with them. It's my therapy, so it keeps me pretty sane. And same with the music. So managing to do it pretty well so far, but I don't tour as much as I used to. That's the thing. I'm a bit retired from leaving town. I couldn't leave town.
Touring is really hard.
It's hard
on the body and on the spirit as well.
Yeah. I mean, I did it for over 25, 30 years, and I knew that I was coming off of that. I just don't want to be out there, but I do love selected gigs that I get to do, and I do travel a little bit for work, but I love being home with the animals.
Oh, it's beautiful, and I can only imagine just how relaxing and how therapeutic it is just to live there.
It is. It is. I am happy that it's cooler, though.
Oh, so hot, yeah.
We're all happy. Yes.
We're in California. It got hot,
wave.
104
Oh,
degrees a couple weeks ago. How many horses do you have currently?
I have 9. And
Wow.
I have a girlfriend that has a horse and a couple of mini horses. So we have 12 available for our program, and 2 goats.
Oh, you're living the dream.
The goats are a big part of our operation.
I love goats. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we have a million more questions, but we do want to open it up for any questions from the audience really quick. And we really want to save a little time if Kiki will grace us with a song. That would be so amazing. But do we have any questions?
Only if you're comfortable doing that, Kiki. We're going to be very trauma-informed here and give you
Yes.
some exits.
Yes. Do we have any questions? We do. Dr. Nat, come on up.
I don't know what it was that made me actually look to see the topic. But when I read the description for today, I knew I had to move mountains to be here. I did not know you sing the lyrics of Joni Mitchell, one of my all-time favorites. So when I heard that here, I was just blown away. I kind of said to myself, this was divine. This was divine. But my question actually has to do with the equine therapy. Where is the ranch?
Oh, it's in Agora.
Okay.
Agora,
yes,
California.
hot. Yes. Okay. And you did answer that people are referred to you and they pay a fee, because I would love to come just to see,
Oh, yeah.
just to experience,
For sure. So just come to the website.
just to experience that.
Dr.
So I
Nat,
want to get back to the music, though.
Dr. Nat, real quick, maybe we can make a field trip from
Okay.
City Club.
Oh, now you know we love doing field trips at City Club.
Yes.
It would be my pleasure to show you around the ranch and introduce you to the horses. They're very special, each one of them. They each have a special, special gift.
Do you have a favorite Joni Mitchell song?
Yes.
What is it?
Both Sides Now.
Okay.
Oh, I love that song. What's your favorite?
Oh, the one about two heads are better than one.
Oh.
My analyst,
My analyst told me that I was right out of my head.
Now, I can't sing that. It may be Natalie, but it
Said
ain't
it'd be
cold.
better dead than alive. I didn't
But I love
listen
that.
to
I love
his
that song.
jive. I
And-
knew all along.
An ex-boyfriend introduced me to Joni Mitchell when I was in medical school, and I fell in love with her. And I don't know that there would have been any other way for me to know about her if it weren't for him. So, thank you.
You are very welcome. Joni Mitchell fans, I love that.
Yes. And maybe since you mentioned Both Sides Now, if you feel comfortable, no pressure at all.
So, just a verse maybe, though, right?
Yes, no, it doesn't have to be the whole song. We just really would love to hear you sing.
All right. Such a pretty song. Well, what I love about this song is the juxtaposition of her singing it as a young girl and as a older woman,
Yes.
and the two sides of her life. Rose and flows of angel hair, and ice cream castles in the air, and velvet canyons everywhere. I have looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I have looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all.
Oh, yes. Woo. Beautiful.
Ugh, so beautiful.
I'm crying.
Me too. It's so
It's a
beautiful.
beautiful song.
Tell me what you get out of that song.
Wow, that you come into life with all these dreams and expectations, and they may or may not come true. And at the end of it all, if you're able to look back and you're able to remember even a piece of your life, that's a gift. And if you are at the end of your life looking back, be grateful. Be happy you made it this far, and know that there are people that love you. Now I'm going to start.
Are you making us cry? You're making the audience cry.
I know, I'm crying now.
You are an absolute, just beautiful soul. I'm so lucky. There's a fun way that I got to know you, and it's through your husband, because he's the San Gabriel Valley Fire Department chief, and I do disaster response work for my psychological association. And I never thought that this, chance meeting with the wonderful human that he is would lead to another incredible, wonderful human. And so I'm just feeling so lucky and so blessed.
Well, he's wonderful.
Oh, he's the best.
He's an amazing person.
Yeah, incredible. Can you tell us? It's a really cute story how you guys met.
Oh, yes. We were on the road together with Tracy Chapman, and he was in the sound department, and I was a very sassy, cocky young girl.
He described you as a redhead at that
I was
time.
redhead, very red hair, I just came in there, and he was mixing our sound, and I would look at him, and he had hair way down, like we both had hair down to our butts, right? And he was cute and kind of funny, and kind of cute, and kind of nerdy, but then really handsome, and then kind of goofy, and then he was so nice though, and he was kind to me, and I had not experienced somebody who just was really a nice person, and I could see that. Mm-hmm. And I was a hard, brazen rock and roller, been on a lot of tours. So we just started hanging out and becoming friends, and then it just happened. Aww. We kissed one night in Sydney, Australia.
Those sound guys, they are always the best.
Yes. Yeah. Her husband is also.
My husband's a sound engineer and a producer, so I have a soft spot for those sound guys too. Yeah.
They make you sound good.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, he mixed film.
They're good listeners.
He built us a recording studio.
That's a cute story.
Yeah. Well, tell us what's next for you.
Oh my. Well, let's see. I'm just trying to live life. I'm just trying to keep my desk clean and my files orderly. And no, I am excited about the equine assisted learning. I'm getting some more clients. It's emerging. It's starting to make sense to me. Like the pieces are falling together. I'm getting some really fun certifications, and I really see now how it fits together. Whereas before it was always like a chance piece, and that's emerging and helping people. And then I'm excited about music. Like I feel like writing. I feel like being artistic, in that way. I feel like creating more in the musical place. But I also want to find some time just to be, with Steve and just relax and enjoy life a little bit, because we're always on the move. We've been very high achievers. And I'm 66 now, so I got to find just some time I'm letting go of things. I'm going through and I'm letting go of certain pieces of things that I don't need anymore. That's a hard thing, but I don't want to be one of those people that dies and there's a bunch of boxes of my stuff.
They might do a one-woman show about you.
Right?
That's a good idea. Like, I don't really need this, But, valuing those things, but I'm in that stage of like, I got to start letting things go, too, which is kind of, I don't mean it to be heavy, but it's a reality.
It's very cathartic to let things go. It's slowing down and
being okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but also new things, learning new things, keeping the brain sharp and stuff. So,
my sister says the older I get, the less I know, and I love that. And maybe it's the older we get, the less we know, and the less we need.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy with very little, but the irony is I have so much.
Yes, you do.
So.
And you are so much. Can you please tell our listeners how they can find you?
Well, you can go to kikiebsen.com for all things music. And if you want to see the horses and talk about that, the Healing Equine Ranch.com. So,
yay. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure getting to know you and hearing your story.
Thank you.
Yes.
And thank you to those of you who have tuned in. Please tune in again to ANEW Body Insight. We look forward to our next exciting interview and hope you will join us next time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning into the ANEW Body Insight podcast. Please remember, the content shared on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. You can find us anywhere podcasts are streaming, on YouTube at my.anew.insight and at anew-insight.com under the ANEW Body Insight podcast tab. Follow us on our socials at my.anew.insight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more updates. Tune in next time and evolve with us.